Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on how the executive mayor and the city manager of Tshwane can end up in jail for a month if they don't adhere to a court order within the next 30 days. That's right. Before we get into this video though, please be sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so yet. Alright, so what's happening? Well, the executive mayor of Tshwane, Dr. Nasiphi Moya, as well as the city manager Johan Metler, has received a court order in which they have to ensure that they do the necessary upgrades to the fresh produce market in Tshwane. Otherwise, if they don't adhere to this court order, they will go to jail for 30 days. Now, what is very interesting with regards to this is that the executive mayor, Nasiphi Moya, as well as the city manager, Johan Metler, wasn't even involved in this court case, meaning they both got into their positions after this court case was started. Now, if you need clarity, let me show you. Alright, so as you can see, it says fix the market or jail. Judge puts Tshwane mayor and city manager on notice. Now the finer details here is Tshwane's mayor Moya and municipal manager Metler face a month in jail if they don't comply with a court order. The city has again been ordered to fix its fresh produce market by providing it with a full suite of municipal services. A judge said Tshwane could not show it had carried out the improvements it promised to do back in 2022. And in essence, it mentions that, although neither Moya nor Metler were part of the original case, Metler started in September 22 and Moya and only became mayor in October 24. They're now accountable in their current roles. And then it goes on just to talk about the case in detail. Now, just imagine that. Just imagine that you get the position of your life. Like you become the mayor of a major metro, or you become the city manager of a major metro. I know Johan Metler because he used to be the city manager in Nelson Mandela Bay, and he is a phenomenal city manager. The only reason he got kicked out of Nelson Mandela Bay is because he didn't want to do what the administration wanted him to do back in the day, which was break the law for them. So he's a man of principle. So because of that, I know that this is just absolutely outlandish. Now, I completely get that people need to be held responsible, but how the hell can you hold a mayor and a city manager responsible that had absolutely nothing to do? Yes, you represent the municipality, but you had nothing to do with this court case. How can you, imagine, so the former mayor used municipal funds to, let's say, kill somebody. Now you come in that position, the reasoning according to the law follows then, because your predecessor did something wrong, now you are responsible for it. So if your predecessor killed somebody with municipal money, does that mean that you should go to jail for what they've done? I know that it's a very, very stupid example, but in essence, that is what the court is saying here. Well, we're not going to hold the former mayor accountable. We're going to hold you accountable. And if you don't adhere to it, you're going to go to jail. Surely, there needs to be a constitutional review with regards to this. How can you hold the doc and Metler responsible when they had nothing to do with the initial court case and they didn't make the decisions or the calls that led to the fresh produce market not being up to scratch or not being finished? This is a glaring problem in our court system if you can hold somebody else responsible for the acts of somebody else. I just find it absolutely absurd that somebody can be held responsible that had nothing to do with the initial issue. I mean, surely we as South Africans should be concerned with regards to that. I mean, imagine if you are working in a business environment where the previous CEO caused a lot of damage and caused a lot of corruption to other businesses that worked with this business, and then in the process now suddenly you as the new CEO are held responsible for their failures. Why was this just not equally applied and said, okay, we are holding the previous mayor responsible? Because they've in essence given the previous mayor that was responsible for this, as well as the previous city manager, just clear escape route. They got off scot-free with regards to this. Now, I'm not too clued up with who the previous mayor was. I'm not even sure if the mayor is still alive. But there's a big issue with you wanting to take steps against people that had nothing to do with the case or the crime, if you will. And the fact that those individuals that actually were responsible are now just like allowed to get off scot-free because the current city manager and the current mayor is responsible just doesn't make any sense. Maybe one of the legal eagles here can explain it to me, but this sounds really dumb. It sounds like a stupid decision by the court. And I want the fresh produce market to, be completed. I want the contracts that were approved to be honored. But surely you can see that there's a problem here. And surely this needs to go to the Constitutional Court so we can have precedent on whether or not you can hold somebody else responsible for the crimes of somebody else. It just doesn't make any sense. But then again, this is South Africa, and South Africa goes crazy sometimes, and it goes really hard. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash that like button. Please be sure to subscribe, and please be sure to share this video far and wide. Lastly, if you enjoy my content, please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah. That you can click that one, yeah. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Till later, cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.